Okay, this is a situation where the client, for the lack of better words, has accepted your therapy. But if there is a client where they are scarred to such a level where they don't want to accept therapy, they are coming to you, but at the same time, they are pulled in both directions where they are not properly taking the right sort of advice from you. So how do you deal with those difficult situations, or how do you even train people to like deal with these situations?
So therapy will work when you yourself want to make a difference, right? The therapist is a sounding body who will basically give you the direction, but you need to walk that direction. So Darshan, at least in my particular space as we see it, right? The interesting part of our space is that I myself have taken therapy multiple times to just see the answer to how do we optimize this, right? How to make sure that every time somebody comes through, it works. But the final answer to it is it will work when you want it to work for you. So a lot of the times, yes, there are multiple attachments that you need to know how to, like Arushi said, unlearn from. When you decide you want to unlearn that, then there'll be a new door which will open for you to learn new things, right? So there's no direct answer to that. Yes, but when you want to make a difference in your life, right, you just tread on the path and the direction, and you will potentially see the light at the end
But
of
I'm
the tunnel.
actually going to jump in over here. I fully echo what Sahaj is saying. Only difference can be made when the self wants to make a difference to the self. But here is where our magicians, which is our team and our psychologists, jump in. There is science of psychology. We're not the same as somebody who is not qualified for their craft. This is where how you work with that individual mind comes into place. Hence, great quality will change a life. There can be resistance, but that is the magic of our team. When they help you understand why are you being resistant. Okay, you'll take time to change and learn your patterns. No problem. We'll give you the time. We'll work with you. There is when so many times our clients want to give up, but that is when the craft comes in of the craftsman. Hence, we need to look at psychology as an actual science and craft. It needs its correct standing. You're getting what I mean? And when, let's say, for every individual, there can't be one fit solution for all. So in the case you're taking therapy and you feel like, hey, my therapist is maybe not the right fit for me, because we all get along with certain type of personalities, we can relate with certain type of people. At Trijog, we also make sure that in the case 1 out of 10 people, if you're like, hey, I don't know if this is the right fit for me, no problem. An entire case transfer will be done. They will be properly, educated on that client, and your therapeutic journey can begin with who you're palatable to. So it's really about good versus great, because the difference a great counselor can make in your life versus a good counselor is monumental.
There's a point. I just read a review the other day, and it came, and it was a review given by a client. So it came to one of my therapists, and it was like, "Thank you for not agreeing with me, right? Thank you for teaching me how to think better, because I know how to think, right?" But so, like Arushi said, it's everybody has a different particular association. People are like, "Arey, haan, they are just a sounding body, right?" But the reflection which they give you is possibly the side of you that sometimes you don't want to see.
Beautifully
Right?
put, yeah.
And by the end of the day, that's that. And if you don't show that side to the person, right, they'll always be in a dilemma that, yeah, I'm only seeing the good side, right, to things. So at times, it's important to address the elephant in the room. And I believe the therapists down the road are doing an incredible job at their space. And how Arushi put it, we are very mindful about making sure you, when you come with a concern area, have the best suited therapist that we can attach to you. And that's where data potentially comes in. So that can be the next part of conversation. And this is not the confidential part of data. This is the data that comes in and tells me that every therapist can't be great at everything. You can't be a relationship expert,
And
OCD
this expert and that expert.
No,
Okay.
very
Yeah.
good at potentially grief management, the LGBTQI community. So you need to find your right fit. And another part I just want to address is that if you ever feel therapy is not working out for you, instead of going out and spreading it, have a conversation first with your therapist, right? When you're in a relationship and your relationship is not going, are you going and supposed to tell the world, yaar ye nahi अच्छे से हो रहा, yaar ये मेरी सुन रही नहीं है? No, you address it with the person right in the room, which people don't do, right? Which is also why that stigma which was there is like yaar ye chalta nahi hai. Have you so yes, there is always a probability and a
Absolutely.
possibility that you don't connect. Right, like Arushi put through. But did you speak to the therapist about it? Did you address that, hey, this is not happening? How else is it going to work?
Correct.
Right?
It has to be a two-way communication.